Thanks for the opportunity to put out this message tonight. My name is Jim Pearson. I'm the Public Works Director and Town Engineer. And with the
Can't even see that.
Turn off the middle lights.
is there a switch behind me hit that?
Seriously, these lights cause a problem.
People from
Oh, she checked her phone's fading.
our next show.
Is that better?
Oh, yes, we'll have lots.
We just need two more. Sam and
Thank you.
Alex.
Well, we're going to try to explain the proposal that the town's putting forward in the election next Tuesday. And the idea is for a phased consolidation of the Department of Public Works. We currently occupy 5 sites around town. And this proposal is to purchase and renovate 9 Alpha Road, which is known as the Mother Hubbard, the old Mother Hubbard warehouse. It's about 9,000 square foot building. And it suits our needs well. We had planners come in and interview people and see what we do and see what we need. And they came up with about 89,000 square feet of storage and vehicle maintenance and offices, and this suits the bill. The most important thing, I might say it a couple of times tonight, is to secure this building and the property. The building's currently for sale. Real estate prices are relatively low, borrowing costs are low, construction costs are low. And this is a 40-50-year plan. We're in a facility at Richardson Road that was built in 1959. It's near the end of its useful life. And it's a good idea when the town purchased that, built it in 1959 because of the value of the sand on the property. The downside to that planning back then was we're across the street from our neighbors in North Chelmsford Water District, and they rightly so are looking to protect the drinking water asset up at Richardson Road. Even though they're across the road, they have 4 wells. Wells are a hole in the ground, but they draw from hundreds of feet beyond that well. And we are currently, our site at Richardson Road is currently sitting on top of that aquifer. This is a 40 or 50-year solution as we see it to that problem. So phase 1 has us purchasing the property, renovating about 6,000 square feet. I'm thinking with my left hand and clicking with the right, sorry. This is the existing conditions at Richardson Road, some buildings at Richardson Road. My clicker isn't working all of a sudden.
You're going backwards.
I'm going back to sorry.
There you go.
This is the phase plan at Richardson Road. Has us maintaining 2 buildings. We'll keep one for storage and one for mechanical repairs. We have to do some due diligence, like you buy a house, you're gonna check out the area. We have to talk with the Conservation Commission, certainly. I'm sorry, Will. Meeting with Conservation Commission, Planning Board, Building Inspector, Fire Prevention Officer. And certainly the biggest thing is that we are not only in the Aquifer Protection District where we currently are. The new site is closer to the edge and closer to not even being in the Aquifer Protection District as we are close to the wells currently. So we are still, the new building's still in it, but literally 600 feet down the street, we wouldn't even be in the Aquifer Protection District at all. Again, it's a phase plan. Next week is the vote for phase 1. Ultimately, would build the site out, would have a salt barn, storage area. And then, again, this is down the road, just to show how the building would be built out in the future. If this was successful in next week's vote, we have to do diligence for 2 or 3 months. We have permitting through the boards I mentioned earlier. It could be a 6 or 7 month process, and then the bidding and then construction. I think that, frankly, is a little aggressive. My hope would be not August of 2011, but certainly before winter, the 2011-2012 winter, which hopefully has no snow. They asked me to come up with 10 reasons, and I'll be brief. We have to recognize as a town that this is a long-term solution. If we could do things all over again, I don't think any town, not only Chelmsford, would locate our public works facility across the street from our good neighbors of the Chelmsford Water District, North Chelmsford, because they're dislike uses. They shouldn't be across the street from each other. This proposal allows all 5 DPW divisions to be consolidated in one unit. We were formed in 1989, and frankly, I don't want to say not only name only, but nothing's basically changed. We're still in 5 different locations. We should consolidate. It allows millions of dollars of equipment to be stored inside. I use the example of town meeting, I think about 18 months ago, that people rush out to Lowe's and Home Depot or whatever and buy an $800 snow blower, and they'll be damned if they're going to store it outside because it might rust. And we have millions of dollars of equipment standing outside rusting. It was brought up earlier, more than likely end the legal action between North Chelmsford Water District and the town. We'll put a vehicle wash station in there, which would wash equipment in more environmentally sound manner. Not only that, would save hundreds of man hours each storm. Again, economies of scale, these are kind of obvious, we'd all be in one facility. We'd stop paying rent. We currently pay $73,000 a year rent to a facility in Kidder Road because we have to store our sewer operations. It's great, the sewer program's worked well for the town, and but we never built a facility as part of that, and this would move the sewer division folks into this unit. We'd move the salt storage shed to this area. We currently, that's one of our 5 sites. We operate a salt storage shed up at Swain Road next to the old landfill. We'd move that down to Alpha Road. One of the reasons, by the way, we're going to keep the Richardson Road site for 7 to 10 years is we project that as the length of time we have sand left off that site to be mined and used during our winter operations. Going back to my school days in Latin, carpe diem, loosely translated means seize the opportunity. We have an opportunity here to solve a 40, 50 year problem. As I mentioned earlier, construction costs are down, land acquisition costs are down, borrowing costs are down. Now's the time to jump on this opportunity. And finally, a little engineering talk. When you talk about an engineering product, whether you build a building or you build a widget, number 1 is safety. You have to do it safely. Number 2 is economics. You want to do for your client, build a product that you built, paint to build, and not waste the client's money. And number 3, take off your engineering hat, stand back, and say, does this whole thing make sense at all? I mean, we're kind of known for our engineers are known for we don't see common sense a lot, but it's one of the important things I think in engineering world. And then finally, before I turn it over to Sue Carter, in my time here, it's been a while. I can't remember any project that the town, maybe the sewer project is one, that the entire board of selectmen, 3 candidates for 2 seats, the entire conservation commission, the finance commission, and really most importantly, all 3 water districts have signed on in favor of this plan. It kind of tells you something. This plan makes sense. This isn't a political thing. This is a long-term look at the town's operations of Department of Public Works. And I'd like Sue Carter to add some comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Sue, we're going to have to limit you to about a minute, I'm afraid.
I'll make it real quick.
Very good.
Hi, I was chairman of the study committee that studied the effects of the DPW in North Chelmsford Water District, so I'm very well versed in what's going on. Environmentally, the key thing is, if something happens at the DPW, there is such a short distance between the DPW site and the North Chelmsford Water District well field. There's very little reaction time. If disaster occurs, what's the impact on the town? A, you've got to clean up. B, North Chelmsford's going to have to buy water from somewhere else. And C, we're going to be paying for attorneys. North Chelmsford's going to sue Chelmsford, Chelmsford's going to have to defend themselves. Environmentally, it does not make sense to keep the DPW in its current location. This new location is in the aquifer, as Jim said, but it doesn't flow directly to the East Chelmsford wells. There's a brook in between that, so that what that means is it gives you time to react if something should happen. The setup currently on Richardson Road, they've made improvements to it as a result of our study, and there's always more improvements to be made, but it's an old site. There's only so much you can do. A new site, you can implement what they call best management practices and run a much safer operation. So I would encourage everyone to support this referendum, this question, this override. It is so important to protect our water. We can't make it anymore. What's there is there. Protect what we've got. Thank you.
It's a
Not an
question.
override, I'm sorry, an exemption. Sorry.
All right, can we get a round of applause for the speakers on the exemption? And we're gonna take a little quick vote in the room. How many people